Good day. We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. More funding is expected from the United States for the construction of facilities under the Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, or EDCA. U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, who is in the country for a historic visit to Palawan, expressed the commitment of the U.S. to provide support for the construction of additional defense facilities in the country. To date, the United States has provided about $82 million to EDCA for its implementation in 5 existing locations in the country. Harris is also in the country to bolster its ties with the Philippine government in terms of economic and security matters. The U.S. official is also expected to discuss with President Ferdinand Marcos the possibility of having a civil nuclear cooperation agreement for the exportation of nuclear equipment and material to the Philippines. Harris said her historic visit to Palawan aims to uphold the international maritime order in the South China Sea, as she will also be meeting with civil society activists in the area. For President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., Harris's scheduled visit to Palawan would not fuel tension between the Philippines and China because it would merely be a visit to a part of a Philippine territory. Meanwhile, Thai industries expressed interest in pouring in more investments to the country. In a meeting with Thai business leaders in Bangkok, Thailand, the Federation of Thai Industries expressed interest to do business in the country, particularly in the areas of infrastructure, transportation, tourism, and food security. Likewise, the Thai government introduced its bio-circular economy model to expedite the country's move to achieving the Sustainable Development Goals in the post-COVID era. The meeting with Thai businesses is a part of President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s bid to encourage investments and strengthen economic cooperation between the Philippines and its ASEAN neighbors. Thailand currently ranks 13th among the world's largest halal food exporters. And in our news overseas, the UN Climate Change Conference, or COP27, on Sunday unanimously agreed to establish a loss and damage fund to help vulnerable countries badly affected by climate change. The 27th conference, consisting of 200 countries, was held in the Egyptian resort of Sharm el-Sheikh. The Loss and Damage Fund is expected to be a big win for the poor countries, which have long called for compensation for climate-related disasters. However, details on how the fund would operate remain unclear. Egyptian Foreign Minister and COP27 President Sameh Shoukry nevertheless said the decisions made during the climate change conference are a testament to the collective will of nations to commit to the fight against climate change. Meanwhile, the UN and European Union were disappointed over the final declaration of COP27 on reducing emissions. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said the decisions made by COP27 were clearly not enough to cut down the costs of climate change. European Commission's Vice President Frans Timmermans also said the outcome of the conference does not bring enough efforts for major emitters to cut more of their emissions. COP27 was originally scheduled to end on Friday, but marathon talks pushed the conference beyond its closing date. In other news, the Department of the Interior and Local Government urges local government units of Sulu to support the newly established Bantay Dagat Task Force in Patikul Town. Interior Secretary Benhur Abalos Jr., National Security Advisor Clarita Carlos, and Defense Secretary Jose Faustino Jr. led the ceremonial turnover of 95 Jungkung motorized boats to the 19 municipalities of Sulu. In a speech, Abalos emphasized the role of Bantay Dagat to improve border control against crime, assist in humanitarian assistance and disaster response, and guard marine resources from destructive fishing practices. The DILG Secretary commended the local leaders and the Tausug community for the successful activation of the task force. Bantay Dagat members will receive military training and honorariums and allowances care of their respective LGUs. And that is the latest and the biggest stories from the Pna Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We are also shown on the social media pages of the Office of the Press Secretary and on Radio Pilipinas RP1. Stay tuned for more news updates. I am William Theo. We tell stories that inspire change.